All right, all right, all right. We are here. Good evening, everyone. Um, this is episode 34. Let's talk about April. I'm here with Logic. You are from Richmond, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. I didn't want to.
Great.
I was hesitant at one point to post that because I said he's from Richmond, right?
Oh yeah, born and raised like
Yeah.
that all my life.
My light like it's doing something weird. Come on, we had 30 minutes to prepare for this. What's going on? Yeah, or something. That ain't it. Okay, I think. Okay. All right, all right, all right. We're here with Logic, so we're gonna have a conversation. I typically like to start off just by asking you to introduce yourself, by, letting us know your name, where you were born, the dynamics of your family, like siblings, and things like that, children and otherwise.
All right. Lodge the Poet, born in Richmond. A lot of people came from MTV. I did too. uh, Holland Park Northside. Like that's where I was born and raised. I have a daughter and 3 stepkids. Um, what else you say?
Siblings.
Siblings. Yes, I have 2 sisters on my daddy's side, a brother and a sister on my no, a brother and sister on my daddy's side, 2 sisters on my mama's side. I'm the baby on both sides.
Okay, okay, you the baby. I'm the baby in my family too. I'm the last of 9, so go figure. That's a whole nother conversation. And so let's talk about how was it raised in Richmond? What part of Richmond exactly?
My elementary days, I was more so on Post Street.
Okay.
And went to AV and all, went to Chandler. I ended up moving around Meadowbridge. High school was John Marshall and adult because they put me out.
Okay. Let's see. And they put you out, and then from there.
Yeah, they put me out, John Marshall.
Okay, we'll probably get to that. Okay, so you're raised with mom and dad?
No, I was raised with my mother. And as far as my younger days, I had a stepfather too who like stepped up.
Okay.
But by the time I hit middle school, I was with my grandma's, which was up the street from each other.
Okay.
I can't say hop and say I'm repping Meadowbridge and Milton, but I was back and forth.
Okay.
For Highland Park though.
Okay. 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 So you're with. So before you go to grandma, right, and before stepdad, stepson, like what was life like? If you recall, as a really young child.
From far as I can remember, my childhood was the typical childhood.
Okay.
My mother battled some things. At that time, the best thing I had was the stepfather that I had, which he passed now. Of course, my dad knew about me and all that type of stuff, but he wasn't really present in my early life. And far as with my mama battling what she was battling, like I was one of them kids that ain't have no direction, but I could direct myself a little bit.
I understand that. Leader.
Like,
leader at heart.
Like I'm talking about no food in the house, no hot water in the house. I'm talking about you might see it was by the woods, so you might see a rat or something in the house, and I'm home alone. You know what I mean? But I was trying to take care of myself. I was trying to boil water. I was taking cold showers, trying to put kerosene in the heater. I come from that, so it was a big struggle for me in my childhood days.
How young are you remembering?
This is in 5th grade year. I can remember my 4th and 5th. I can't remember nothing before that.
Okay. Most aren't able to, right? Especially depending on how you were raised. And so I guess so. It sounds like it could have been a situation where you were put in a position where you had to grow up faster than you should have.
I did.
Right.
Like I said, with my mother, I had 2 sisters, but they older, so they end up advancing more than me. Like the older ones, when she graduated, she left the house. But before she left the house, the middle one, she ran away and never came back. I mean, everybody knew what she was.
Okay.
But
so she pretty much just moved out.
Me, struggling by myself.
Okay.
I never mentioned that to my mother until I got out of prison, but we're going to say that part too.
Okay, so now we're talking, we're going to call it 5th grade. 5th grade, you pretty much feeling like you got to be the man of the house, so to speak, right? To some degree?
I take that, no.
Okay.
5th grade, yeah, I had to be the man for myself.
There's a difference.
By this time, my stepfather was gone.
Okay.
My mother was gone. Both of my sisters was gone. I basically did what I wanted to do in that degree. So I wouldn't call myself, you can say that if you want, but I wouldn't call myself the man of the house. I see myself as the man of myself. It was really nothing in that house.
There's really nothing in the house. So no, and I'm glad you kind of gave more insight to that, because I mean, the terminology we kind of use, right? It's man not there, young man got to step up, man in the house. But what you're describing is there wasn't a home to be a man of, is what you're saying. You pretty much had to fend for yourself completely.
And for the record, this is the first time I'm actually sharing. There's certain people who know certain things in my life, but I don't go back down there. But this platform right here, I appreciate you, and this is what I'm going to give you today.
I appreciate you trusting me to share with you. So you're in a position where you pretty much got to take care of yourself. You got to be the man of yourself. Can you recall having moments where you possibly felt like, okay, what about me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you moved on, situations going on with you, you're battling, you over there doing you, but what about me? Because I can't imagine someone in the 5th grade, boy or girl, especially a boy, having to fend for himself and be the man of his domain, is what I'm hearing. And not have these thoughts of, okay, what about me? Or do you feel like you was in survival mode where that was like an afterthought?
I would say that was an afterthought, but I definitely was like, what about me? I never got the answers to it. And it's like, once I asked like once or twice, what about me? And I'm seeing what I'm receiving, I just stopped asking. So, yeah.
And so in doing that, what that causes a child to do is learn how to suppress. Right? And so, which could be a bit of a handicap for a child. And the handicap that I'm speaking of is it begins to enable you in terms of what you should naturally be able to do as a child, right? Which is run to someone for help, which is cry on someone's shoulder. Like, all those are natural reactions, natural emotional needs that we all need, right? But when, like, to your point, when you've asked and you cried out and you're not getting what you're seeking, you stop asking. That's a form of suppression. And so when you have to grow up suppressing emotional feelings, that really does something to you. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share this part just based on the natural flow of how I feel is necessary for these interviews that I've been doing. I start with childhood because it tells you a lot about where they are, why they experience what they experience, right? Why they found themselves in situations. Because sometimes we hear people's stories and I think we're all guilty of it. And, sometimes we can kind of be a little hard on each other. And that is empathetic, because where you're 30 and you chose that, or you're 20 and you decide to do that, and not really putting enough attention. Okay, but something went on as a child for me to have chosen and decided to do this at 18 or 25. Or, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think I think it's very important to start from childhood, because not only will the viewers learn to understand, or the people that know you, but for the most part, more importantly, you'll begin to understand if you haven't understood, right? The whys. You said something pretty deep to me about how you asked and never got the answers, right? That was actually one of my questions. It was a little more vague than that, but it was, what were the answers to the questions that you never received? What did you want those questions to be like? What was it? Have you had those conversations? And I'm not that's rhetorical now, but that is a question that I kind of had in my notes. Like, do you have any questions that you never got answers to? Because people think because we do change and transform and evolve, that means everything has been handled and we're healed in all areas by time.
I got some answers later in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get the answers when I needed.
At the time, exactly.
My outlet was an athlete. Like, I was good at sports, all type of sports.
Okay.
Just ain't how that support system. But I had a whole lot of hood mothers. Like, my friend's house, and I was one of they, one of their mothers adopt me type. I had that. That was a good outlet for me a little bit.
Thank God for that. That's the community stepping up, doing what the community is supposed to do. Okay, so let's kind of move past 5th, 6th grade. So what's 7th, 8th grade like?
7th, 8th grade. That's when I end up Red Holland Pop, Meadowbridge or whatnot. My grandmother was living on Groveland for like 30-something years. That's where everything kind of started for me. Things got a little better, but I still had my freedom to do what I wanted to do. I respected my grandmothers or whatnot. But once I was left there, I still attended school. I still played sports or whatnot. But I started getting into other stuff at that age. I was starting to smoke. I was starting to steal alcohol, that type of stuff. And just being outside. But I still went to school and I still played sports.
Well, good for you. Because most times that age, right, where we drop out, get involved in the streets, and we kind of go all the way. So it's good that you had enough discipline to stay in school and continue with athletes. So what was the ultimate decision for you moving?
School was where the food was at.
Right, exactly. Food and the friends, yeah.
Friends or whatnot. School was an outlet. Like, I ain't gonna say I was going to school for school.
Right. But the difference, yeah.
Move around.
Right. So what was ultimately the decision for you moving with grandma? Why did it come to that?
It was eviction.
Okay.
My mother ended up going to live somewhere else. My grandma took me in. I was I'm the youngest grandbaby, so I was the last grandbaby to come through her house. And that's just what that was. I was.
And so, so now you're not completely off the porch, but you're around it enough to see.
I'm jumping off it now. Like, my closest cousin in age was 5 years older than me. So I started flocking to him, and I started being around his friends. Some of his friends was older, so I was around older people at a young age. Older, young, like in the streets people. Okay. But yeah, I started jumping around the 7th grade.
And so they became like that big brother, right?
Right.
That indirect mentor, if you will.
Right.
And I mean, what's interesting? There's a lot of negative people can say about that, but there's some positive too. Like I was unfortunately raised in an environment where I saw a lot of those. Granted, they were showing them the wrong way to go about, supporting themselves financially, but they were very much like dads to them boys, and so
they looked out.
In that case.
They looked out. from hand-me-downs to everything. They looked out.
Well, shout out to them. So now you with grandma. Did you completely finish school, or was there a time when you just kind of gave up?
The whole school?
Hmm?
The whole school? Like the 12th?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was in John Marshall up until my 11th grade year. I completed the 11th grade year, but they told me I couldn't come back to John Marshall. It was
Oh, that's when you got kicked out.
Yeah, I got kicked out. They sent me to adult. I went to adult. Adult got multiple hoods in there. And then it's no school buses for adult. I was catching the city bus with a gun on me going to school. I made it through the first semester, and stuff started getting so hectic at school that I just dropped out with a semester to go. I could have graduated, walked with my class or whatnot, but
so was it one of those schools like the School Without Wall, was kind of all the people that got kicked out of schools?
Yeah, that's the alternative school.
It was like the final alternative
right here on Lee Street.
And so that wasn't working out. And I'm sure for probably safety reasons and other things, right?
Yes.
And so now you decided, okay, I'm going all in. Like, what can you recall the thought process being when you realize, okay, I can't keep doing this. It's not going to work.
At the time, I had 2 people from my neighborhood going to school with me. And it was like constant stuff going on. Mainly the people we like beefing with up in John Marshall, they end up putting all us out into adult where all of us was going. So it was fights here and there, you know. Some of the older people pulling up, you know, and by me riding the city bus, I was like, I ain't trying to get caught lagging like that. So I just end up getting it up once the first couple months was fine. Then it just started getting rougher and rougher. I mean, I only got into one fight there, but I had another altercation where they tried to bank me at, but it was some teachers there at the time, you know, so I just gave up on it.
I see it as, I hate to use this term, that's just my personal, how I choose to describe it. I unfortunately had to go to that last alternative. That's what I call it, the last alternative. And it's like a trap. It's like a holding cell. Because to your point, it's an intention, and I get it from, I guess, an educational perspective. Like, okay, well, there's no one else. We're gonna find this hole in the wall, if you will, where all y'all can kind of go. And but it's like a trap because it's almost like, to your point, you put every bad seed there. You know what I'm saying? You put every bad, and you actually expect us all to survive this educationally and physically. You know what I'm saying? And mentally, like, you know, that's just like a holding cell. Like, it's like they already know the numbers and the percentage of how many people are going to actually walk across that stage coming from this environment. You know,
percentage won't high at all.
Huh?
The percentage won't high at all.
Yeah. And they know that, and that's kind of why I say it's just like a holding cell, and it's not really. They it's almost like they want to show that they're trying to give you guys another chance. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you're doing that just to buy time because you already know what it's going to equate to from other people. And so that's unfortunate. And I'm a product of it. So now 24 hours, you got 24 hours on your, right? You don't got 13 hours going to your commute, going to school, spend 8 hours there. So what was, did you have a conversation with yourself? Can you recall?
Did I have a conversation with myself? I can't recall my conversation, but because I still do this to this day, I conversate with myself. So I'm gonna assume
that you did
conversate with myself, because for as far as I can remember, I talk to myself. You know, I'm quiet. I get in the corner. I think all day. Like, that's why I named myself Logic years ago. So yeah, I think a lot. I should.
And so I didn't expect you to remember the actual dialogue, right? Like, I can't remember the actual words I've said, but I remember thoughts. I remember emotions during that time. And so a lot of times when just
I remember wanting more. I remember I wanted support. You know, I can remember them things, just not the verbatim conversation.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what I meant. I didn't really necessarily mean word for word conversation, but just like the emotions attached to, you know, the space you were in, right? Like you said, you can recall wanting more, meeting people, right? And so at this point, what's going on with Mom, if you don't mind? At this point where you are, where you're done with school.
Mom, still mom. Like, I know her, I see her, I talk to her. She was just living up the street somewhere else, and wasn't where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
But shortly after, because I was locked up from 18 to 22.
Okay.
So as soon as I kind of dropped out of school or whatnot, I kind of ended up locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, mom won't know about it right there.
Mm-hmm.
But the people I knew.
So she's still going through her battles while you trying to figure it out. And you know, there's a
Younger day, that's when her battle started. Her battle won't always like that.
Okay.
My sisters, like, they was having a good childhood. Their childhood is not my childhood. They didn't even know what I was going through until I expressed myself in a letter from jail. Which, because I never told anybody. Nobody knew I was struggling like that at their house. So I hid it.
Suppressed, right? And for unfortunate good reasons, it sounds like. And so there's a and I won't go too far into it, but there's a systematic system in place called school to prison pipeline, right? And ultimately, this is an agenda in which they're already, it's almost like, you know, names goes into this magic box from preschool just based on behavior patterns, right? And this is why prisons are built. This is the system that prisons are built on, right? Understand that, oh, okay, dynamics of this person ultimately is going to end up in prison. They know that preschool, second grade, third grade. They don't just figure that out ninth grade when you drop out in 11th. They've already figured that out based on the system that's in place to this day, right? And so I share that to say that when you mentioned as soon as I dropped out, I ended up in prison, that was unfortunately destined to happen just based on this system that's in place. Unbeknownst to you, you know what I'm saying? Like we're struggling just trying to get back, trying to survive. We don't understand that there's a system that's in place that already knew my demise. They already knew what I was destined for, unfortunately. And so, and it just hit me. Like I said, I won't go too deep into that to get off topic. But you saying it is like, yeah, ultimately that's what the whole system's about. You know, like because they even get you before you drop.
Product of your environment.
There you go. And so you say now, you're in. So before we go to prison, before we're in prison, you drop out. So now you're hanging with the older ones, and you in straight survival mode, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm at the basketball court with everybody else every day. Different little trap houses, you know. I was just out there. But I was out there with the intent that I don't even supposed to be out there.
And you've always knew.
I always knew that. Like, to know I was a great athlete, I gave it up when I chose other stuff. You know, my coaches try to stay on me like, you know you're a good athlete when you start getting picked up and staying at the coach's house.
Exactly.
They try to keep you close to keep you grounded. Got me a job at the legal center and everything. Like, I tried all of that. and it was an outlet for a while, but nobody came to really support me. But one of my sisters, like, she was always there for me. But she, by this time, she had her own child and whatnot, and was living her life. Yeah. Without the support, I just started falling more and more deeper into the street life. But I always felt that I ain't supposed to be there.
You're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So do you think that added a bit of like a subtle depression? Knowing that, I mean, not that anybody can say I'm supposed to be here, right? Like, we're not saying that. However, we do understand that everybody don't end up in the streets the same way and for the same reason.
They don't. There's different reasons.
And that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing based on the reasons you should not.
Some people actually choose it. I actually wanted to just buy myself a new pair of shoes, pay a cell phone bill. You know, I don't want the hand-me-down T-shirts. I want to go buy my own T-shirts. I used to trick the money up.
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
And so to your point, some people too. So it's not like he was out there trying to get rich. Like, okay, this is gonna be my way of life. I'm gonna get it and come up, and it's just like, unfortunately, due to my circumstances,
I'm really trying to choose. It's just helping me right now. I knew it was always something different for me to do,
and something better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's all, and the reason why I can confidently say that, you know, not that I know much about you, when you had, because some people don't. Unfortunately, some of us don't have anything to hold on to when we're younger, especially if there's a lot of trauma and dysfunction in the household. You kind of find yourself in a place where there's not much to hold on to. Why am I what am I holding on to? But you had sports. You knew you was gifted. You knew you was good. Right. So that alone, I'm sure, was enough to say, yeah, nah, I actually playing college ball right. You know, I actually should be on my way to the end, you know, like, or whatever will be that next phase in whatever sport you were in. And so I can only imagine knowing that you had a way out, so to speak, right? And unfortunately was not able to pursue that. That's why I said, was it kind of a subtle depression? Because I think a lot of times we don't know, especially at the time, we don't really know what we're battling with mentally, because it's unspoken. Nobody
knew about depression back then.
Nobody talks about that. And so it will be hard to imagine that you didn't. It would be hard to imagine that you didn't. And the reason why I think that's important to mention, because depression often leads to making decisions that we regret, because April's perspective, this is April's definition. I'm not no psychologist, nothing like that. But when it comes down to depression, from what I've learned and understanding my own experience, that it becomes a mental instability. It throws you off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a weight that is on your mind, and that weight on your mind is now shifting your mind. It's almost like sway, right? You're just going, you know, left to right, because there's no real foundation, because your mind is not set on anything. You follow me? And so when one, especially a child, especially when there's trauma, especially when there's lack, you know what I'm saying? We be in mentally unstable positions due to depression. You know what I'm saying? We just be mentally off because nobody speaks that language around us and nobody talk like that. We just think we're going rolling with the punches. You know, we think we're just frustrated and angry, and we're really depressed. You know what I'm saying? We think we're just mad and violent, but we're really depressed. We're just reacting to that mental, you know, anguish that we're going through. So what led you to prison? What took place that you ended up having to go to prison at 18?
It was a robbery. It was set up in home, whatnot, and it ain't go right. I ended up being on the run for like a month or two, then just gave up and turned myself in. Now I'm not gonna go too much into that detail, but that's what that was.
And so they were playing.
It won't work.
So let me ask you this: do you think that prison, in a sense, saved you?
It did, because throughout my life, with doing certain things, I always told myself, like, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. So when I got behind that wall and it's only you, it was like a bunch of soul searching. Like, I kept saying, like, man, I don't supposed to be here. But I came to the realization I was supposed to be there. Why? Because I came out different. I used to live for the thrill of things. You know, I'm talking about when the shootouts and stuff, I was somebody who ain't need run. Like, I was invincible. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna shoot me. You know, it was dumb, but that's how I felt back then. I don't have that. I have a thrill for life now. Prison gave me the thrill for life to do something different.
Yes.
I ain't even mad at it, man. Them 4 years set me down, and I did some soul searching within myself. Started rapping and everything. You know, well, I started right before I went in, but it ain't. I was like 3 months in the game of rap, but it really developed locked up. And I won't on like no major level prison or whatnot. Where they sent me to, I was a youth offender, and everybody come there go home. Now, was it rapes, stabs, stuff like that? Did that happen? Yes, but the percentage was low because everybody was going home. So yeah.
So I asked you that question because about whether prison saved your life, because it's so crazy. And it's only crazy. I'm really just talking to myself when I say it's crazy. You know, me being raised in an environment where it was so normal, you know, people get murdered, not robbed. That was just all unfortunately actual normal everyday behavior. It's sickening, but it's just unfortunately it was true. I didn't understand how prison specifically saved a lot of people until I was a full-blown adult. It's just all it's like it was just bad. Oh man, he got locked. Oh man, she got locked. You know, just like it was just such a bad thing, like dang. Until I become a full-blown adult, and I mean to the point where now I'm in ministry as a minister, now I'm understanding. No, that wasn't supposed to work out. You were supposed to go behind that door. To sit yourself down, let God deal with you, you know, figure out what was going on, how you feeling, and get you in a position. And so I haven't run into that one person that went to prison that didn't say it saved them. As much as they hated the fact that they had to take that route, they don't, you know, I haven't heard many people praise it. But most people look at it as a blessing in disguise.
It depends. If you one of them people that's your revolving door.
Oh yeah, your mind, mentally you're not even there. Yeah.
But if you go ahead to sit down and learn your lesson type and don't really want to go back, that's you needed it.
And that's why that answer tells me a lot about a person just by that answer. It tells me so much more about a person's character. Someone that took that route anyway, right? It tells me a lot about their character and their level of development by how they answer that. Because as you mentioned, a lot of people that's playground. See you in 6 years, see you in 3 years, skip on out, skip back in, and you know I didn't see people enjoy the thrill of it. So we definitely know a host of people that that's just they didn't already agree. This is life, this is part of the game type of situation. But the ones that and no slight to them, right? Because they got their reasons in their story as well. But to the point I was trying to make, a lot of the people that I run into, for the most part, it was a blessing in disguise. Why? Because that wasn't who they knew that wasn't who they were. They knew it was more in store for them, in other words.
Yes.
Right. And so you mentioned a moment ago how you never spoke of things regarding your struggle and how it was when you were younger to your mom and your siblings. So was the communication with your mother in the letter as well? Or just your siblings?
The letter was addressed to my mother.
Okay.
My mother ended up giving it to my siblings. My oldest sister, she like my mother. She was my support. She did whatever she could for me, you know. So once my mother received that letter and she read that, she gave it to my sister and she read it. And I ended up calling home, which I was only calling my sister. She was doing my 3 ways and everything. And she called, and when I called her, she started asking me about the letter and whatnot. She was like, "I did not know you was struggling like that." I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, what I was supposed to do? Everybody was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I learned coming home from prison. My mother, she never like wrote me back or nothing like that, or we didn't even talk about it. Like she came and visited me or whatnot, but we never talked about it. But the day I came home from prison, on that 3 hour ride back to Richmond, 3, 4 hours, something like that, that's when she expressed a whole lot of stuff to me.
Mm-hmm. She opened up to you, or did you kind of force the conversation?
Nah, it's like she was waiting to see me. She was happy to see me. Started leaving. One time we hit the highway, she said, "You know, you really hurt me with that letter." Like that's the only line I can remember her saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really hurt me with that letter. And then she just started spilling some beans.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
The things she expressed, was it things you've been longing to hear?
Yes, in a sense. Um, she didn't speak on her battles. She apologized for her battles. She actually pushed it more so on my father. Because in layman's terms, she was the side dude baby.
Oh, okay.
And she ended up getting pregnant. She was staying with my grandmother, my father, mother. Uh, it's like my father had her put up, like he used to beat on her and stuff like that. Like that's the stories I got. I ain't even never confront him about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he know that I know that.
That you know. Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, she used to tell me that. So I don't think she ever. I ain't gonna say she treated me like she hated him, and I look so much like him that she hated me. It wasn't that because when she was happy, I had a happy mother. Like graduations and stuff, like middle school, elementary and stuff, she was there. A few games she did make it to, you know. So I ain't taking all that from her.
Right.
But the most of what I needed, I did not get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I just been looking for love my whole life. I don't I don't play with that L word.
Yeah.
If I tell you I love you, I love you. Because I don't tell people I love them. You know?
Because of your experience with love.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Love always left me. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got me getting deep.
Early on, I said conversation therapeutic. I said,
Ah,
this is good though. It's good for the soul. I'm telling you. It's a very healthy thing. And I think that I appreciate this platform the most of how open you guys are really bottled up. But most men, when I'm allowed the opportunity to sit down with you guys, open up. And I think, thank God, somehow a safe space is received, even though it's online, right? I think somehow it's something. I don't know. I don't want to take it too spiritual and go too deep, but I think that.
like I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like me going to see a therapist right now, and all I see is you. But I know a lot of people gonna see this. You know, and it's like I can tell it at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of calls and a lot of questions later on, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you trusting me, and that's kind of why I was rolling with it. I think that there's something definitely. I think I was definitely ordained to do this because of how, to your point, like these people, I think I might have interviewed 2 or 3 people that I actually personally know. Everyone else, I know nothing about them. I never followed them on social media. You know, I never knew anything about them. Weren't even social media friends. And for some reason, it allows everybody to be comfortable and open and honest. So I'm grateful for that because there's healing in it. There's definitely healing in it. And so anyway, you mentioned about that ride back. So do you feel like you got a sense of closure or some understanding of a
I,
lot you didn't understand?
I can't call it closure, but I got some understanding. You know, that's basically all I can say. Like in a sense, it kind of helped me with the talk that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that from certain things. I don't know why she moved like she moved.
Mm-hmm. But did it help you understand why she was moving the way she was moving?
Nah, I still ain't understand it.
Still understand? Okay.
Like at this point, you done moved on with your life.
Yeah.
You know, you was doing what make you happy. I was your baby boy. I wasn't getting what I needed. So it was understanding, and then it won't understand. It won't no clarity in it.
Right.
Or maybe I just took it for what it was.
Or to your point, or it could have been an understanding for some things, but not necessarily about her decision making, how she was moving. That's kind of what I'm hearing, right?
So it's like I've already been on my own anyway. So does it really matter now?
Right. Mm.
It did though.
It had to, even if it was just in a slight way.
It did.
Because when you compare it to what you didn't get at all, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you got no answers, no communication, no emotion. And to get some, that had to add at least a few band-aids, if nothing else. Because it's more than what you've gotten, is what it sounds like. Right. Do you think that you said this earlier, this is something that I say for myself being the last of 9 children, that and I tell my siblings, I wouldn't say all the time because we're just unfortunately not that close, but the ones that I have had relations with over the time, we had different parents. You know, all that, you're the favorite, you're the this. I said, it was just different parents by the time I came along. My oldest brother's like, I think he's in his 70s. You know what I'm saying? There's a huge gap in between a lot of my siblings in terms of age difference. I said, they were in completely different mental, emotional, spiritual spaces when I came about. So it wasn't that I got the best out of them or you got the short end of the stick. We just had different parents. And that doesn't, I'm sure, answer a lot of questions or soothe, it's soothing to people, but that's a real reality. We had different, same parent, but we had a different parent because it went a different space in life. Even with me and my husband, we have a blended family, right? We have 5 children total. Oldest is 33, youngest is 17. The youngest have a different set of parents. You know what I'm saying? Like we're different. We're not the same parents we were then. Good, bad, or indifference. And I feel like I overly emphasize that to say that I think sometimes we should give grace just because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like understand that he or she just wasn't that way for me. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the situation was. They just were different. And I think a lot of times there's this dynamic with siblings where there's a bit of envy, right? Strife and all that because we see how the parent is to that child or how the parent was to that child, as opposed to being able, and it's hard to do when we're young, so we aren't expected to understand that as children. But as we get older, I think a lot of the simplest answer for me is that they're just a different parent. Just a different, and it could be for the better or for the worse. Because it's not always for the better. It could be for the better or for the worse. But do you think that changed the dynamics of your relationship with that particular sibling, the older one that moved out the letter? You think that changed something in you guys' relationship?
Change isn't how because she was there.
She was there. Well, okay, so that's a good
backbone for me.
So do you think she became possibly more empathetic, more protective? Because sometimes there's a shift when you start finding out certain things about a person. they'll kind of
Just
pull you in a
that-
little closer.
She was just that for my younger days, but she didn't know this until basically I was 20, and then I didn't come home till I was 22.
Okay.
You know, like we was always tight anyway, but I ain't never like expressed certain things to her like that.
Mm-hmm.
That letter was for my mother. I ain't
Right,
even
it wasn't for her.
my mother to give it to her. You know, she questioned me about it and told me I didn't know it was like that for you. I was like, yeah, that's why when you came, I was so happy. Everything you did for me, I was appreciative of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was my mom. She did what she can do.
Was it an apology doing that ride?
Huh?
Did you get an apology doing that ride?
I don't remember apology.
You would remember one if it was, I think.
Yeah, I think I just got information.
Mm-hmm.
It was sympathetic. You know, we had a better relationship since I've been home. We grew closer,
That's good. Mm-hmm.
and with my daughter, she did better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about babysitting, taking places. My love grew stronger then because I might ain't get it, but my offspring got it.
Different parent. You
Yeah.
see? Different parent. Different parent. I felt that. Different parent. Yeah. Okay, so that's all that we need. So now,
Is we gonna get to some exciting stuff?
yeah, this is exciting, man. I'm telling you, this is exciting. Wait, with 30, what, 40 minutes into this? Easy, take it easy.
Hey.
So we're in there, right? And so you mentioned that you started writing,
Yes.
right? So what else? What other gifts inside of you think started coming out, or were you pulling out of yourself with all that time? You're writing now.
I'm writing. The writing's been that. Like the writing went from just trying to rap to poetry. You know, I was doing spoken word, kind of all the spoken word spots around Richmond, and I used to travel with it to Atlanta and stuff like that, and a couple other places in Virginia. Like that started doing good for me because that's when I gave my emotion. Even with rap, I did that too, but it was more. It was the truth, but it was in an entertaining way.
Right.
But when it came to the spoken word, that was the truth, but it came from pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people liked it, and I just kept on doing it until I ain't getting nowhere with it, and I don't even do it no more.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got somewhere with it. You got somewhere with it. You just explained what you were doing it for and and the places it came from. It's like everybody not gonna make it on. You know what I'm saying? Like with the big deal and with the million views, that don't mean you ain't
But you
it.
make it with an outlet, though.
Yeah.
In that sense, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want a deal, though.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay, so now you're into. Okay, so you got a love for writing. You come out. You're doing poetry. You're going to all these open mic spots. I'm sure it's kind of what they are, right?
Yeah.
And so you're kind of doing poetry and rap at the same time. Right? They both pull out different emotion. You say it. A lot of times, because I'm a writer at heart. So that's a whole other story. I'll tell my story at some point in life. But so I can relate to that. And so in doing the music, when did the acting come about?
With doing music, I always said I wanted to act.
Oh.
I never did it. Something had came up here in Richmond years back, and it was a movie we was filming, and they liked what I was doing, you know, but they never completed it, so it fell short. And then I never went back to it for a while.
Okay.
So just recently, like 3 years ago, that's when I really started with the acting. But I always said I wanted to do it. I just never put nothing out there to show that I wanted to do it.
It was something you always wanted to pursue, but you never really did anything to kind of put you in a position. Okay. And so I guess that's where it come by how you mentioned early offline when you met Sean and other people that are kind of getting into acting and directing and that whole environment. I love that. I love that so much. So let me ask you this. So when you first got your first acting opportunity, like how did that feel? Were you excited about it, or you kind of like, or was it like, okay, yeah, I always wanted, like, what was it? Was it excitement, or was it kind of like,
It was excitement. Like I always been like a, you know, I walk with my head up. You know what I'm saying? Shoulders back. I'm one of them. So of course I was a little nervous, but I felt a little sense of I may be alright because I had an insider to the project that
what you
told me,
mean?
man, just come try your hand. But when I went in there, like remind you, I never practiced. They
Okay.
gave me the lines. I had somebody right there with me because we had to do a dialogue back and forth, and it just came out. They were like, "Oh no, you locked in." I knew before I left, I was plugged in.
Yeah.
But I never like really did it, other than that one time that it fell short.
Mm-hmm.
And then by seeing me on that camera, I wanted more. Luckily, we shot 3 episodes with that, so I was getting better just in that atmosphere. And then I got 2 other projects under my belt.
Okay.
I feel like a vet now.
Okay. I saw the chick though when you said that. I noticed that. That's what's up. So help me understand this. So you start a business. When did you start it? Like what is the time period between release, acting, poetry? Where did the business come into play?
Just trying to get a new avenue for myself, extra income or whatnot. That's when my business came up, which was Sock Ops. It's a bounce house business.
Okay.
I lean more towards the kids because I was a hurt child, So it's like everything I do now reflects back to children. Like I try to support, do whatever I could for that. Yeah, I'm getting paid by the parents and whatnot, but the kids having fun. With that, and I got other things going on. Once I quit the rapping, that's when the acting came about.
Okay.
My business has started when I started seeing I'm getting older, and the rapping and stuff won't get me nowhere. Like we traveling here, we traveling there, but I ain't really getting paid for it.
Right, not compensated
from my account, So I just end up leaving that alone, picking up. The business came a year or 2 before I stopped rapping.
Okay.
Because I just needed the extra money before I could travel. And it's been working out.
Good. Much success. So what's the other things you got going on? Because I know you got the nonprofit.
Yes, I have I'm also the president of a nonprofit called Wayne's World for Life. We started that in 2017 though.
Okay.
No, sorry. That was the death of my nephew. It's based off the death of my nephew. We started in COVID years, 2020, 2021. And it's a financial literacy program. And that's for children too. We reaching from 12 to 19, just trying to teach you to save your money. With these days, everybody DoorDash and buying every pair of J's that they could get, and you just don't got no money. Like, set yourself up. You ain't got to get every meal and every pair of Jordans. So we're trying to teach them to save their money. We also pay you to come to class. Like, you can start a savings account with a real bank, with a black-owned bank,
So how is that set up? Will you guys pay them? Is it more like a?
Well, if you take the classes or whatnot, it's like we'll pay you like $25 a class.
Gotcha.
And you get to set up a savings account with the bank, and you can just keep putting in. I mean, if you choose to use the money, it'll be in gift cards or whatnot. If you choose to use the money, that's just on you. But you can also save it.
Okay.
and keep going in class or whatnot.
Okay. They say money is the number one motivator.
Yeah.
So that I like how that's set up. That actually makes a lot of sense because it is one thing to tell a kid, oh, save myself, but I'm gonna give you, here's a seed, right? You ain't gotta take the money mommy give your daddy give you. Here's something, save it so you can at least start that process of learning the importance of saving. Right. So that's good to provide them with the means to start teaching them. Right. I love how that's set up. I know somebody said I love that. I love that too. Okay, so now we got the business, you're the president of the nonprofit. You said y'all started during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is because of loss of your nephew. I think I saw a page. I think I did see that page. Okay.
It was 12, 17, 17s when we lost my nephew. And that's come from the sister that I said was my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very close to him. You know, he is her firstborn and whatnot. I stayed with them. You know, we had a good relationship. So that's the death that I still ain't over to this day. Like that's a touchy subject for me. But yeah, we started something good behind it though.
That's good. So it sounds like you're on a mission to be to the youth what you wanted people to be unto you. Be there.
Right. Well,
Enjoy child, right?
and it was financial literacy because he had graduated high school. He went to NASCAR Institute. He graduated that too. But he came back home with his mother and he was in the process of trying to get his own together. Like get his finances right, move out, you know, be on his own and stuff like that. So it was only right to put something in his name and then the object of trying to get kids to save money because like I said, our ages is 12 to 19. By this time he was 21 trying to do that. We trying to get them to do that early. You know, by the time you hit 18 and stuff, you starting to get credit cards and stuff like that. Use it wisely. And we do community events too. A lot of give back.
So y'all do like annual events?
Yes, back to school drives, feed the. They told me not to say homeless.
Yeah, less fortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Them Easter events, Halloween events, which bring me to another thing. I'm under another organization.
Okay, I love it.
It's called Men That Wear Many Hats.
Say it again.
Men That Wear Many Hats.
Okay.
And we just a group of individuals that we do the same thing. Put together community things for people to come to and enjoy, and more so be for free. And fashion shows, all types of stuff like that. Look out in June too.
In June.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So what that about?
I think we had got picked up. The nonprofit had got picked up to join them with the event, and this was just always around, and I ended up joining the other part, which was the Men That Wear Many Hats.
Okay. So that already existed, and you just
it already existed before.
Okay.
Right, but now I'm on their board now too.
Okay.
What I was ready to say?
I feel like you said what you were going to say. You were because I asked how did it come about.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's how it came about. They do the same thing, community things and stuff like that. We actually joined them, and then I end up being a part of them. Yeah.
Okay. So you have 2 daughters?
I have 1 biological child.
1 biological. Okay. How old is your daughter?
She's 12.
She's 12. Okay. So she's 12. So this came when we were 25. Oh, this is what, a few years after you got out? You had her?
Yeah, I had at 25. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Your mouth on point.
Okay.
I can tell you my age.
Okay. And so, because I'm hearing so many transformations that took place. I love it. And so I'm sure that was another one, right?
Yeah.
And so baby girl comes, and so where are you mentally before she arrived? Like what space are you in? Are you in this have you already started the business?
No, I ain't have nothing going on.
Nothing
I
going
was
on.
still in my growing stage from coming out of when I was locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I got out at 22. She came when I was 25. She changed me. She did that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I really put my good foot forward. Like my child, she been my world type of thing. Me and her mother ain't work out. I ended up taking her to court, getting joint physical custody or whatnot. So every day of her life, she been with me half of the week, every week.
I love it.
And even days that ain't my days right now, she got her phone and all that type of stuff. She'll call me, I go get her or whatnot. But yeah, it been me and her. Like she been thugging with me, but I've been trying to give her the best that I can get.
Mm-hmm. I love it. God, I love that. I love how, and this is you probably wouldn't describe it in the way that I want to say it, but what I'm getting. I love that you fought for your daughter, and you fought for the right to have access to your daughter. Most men don't do that. We talking about good fathers too. We not talking about just deadbeat. Yeah, some men, most men that I am aware of, don't take that extra step. They let the mother do that, and then it be what it be, and they get them when they can get them. I love it that you took the extra steps to make sure that you had your legal rights in place.
Yeah, I did it on my own.
I love that. That's so what's up. Even that right there. See, it don't take a lot for me to start really being able to understand the character of a person. Even right there, that alone tells me a little bit more about you. Understanding the importance of taking that necessary step. And so, okay, so now it's all in perspective. Okay, it's coming full circle. So what really happened was you had you had your baby girl, completely shifted your perspective on life, got your wheels turning, right? Because you're excited, the adrenaline rushes here, right? You and daddy. And that's when all this other stuff started coming into place, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything is behind her. I promise you, even when I came home, like I didn't really have a care. You know how the streets talk. A lot of secrets came out or whatnot. So I came home on bullshit. But once that happened, that only lasted them 2-3 years. Because once she was on the way, I started cracking down. Like, oh, I gotta get me a real job and stuff like that. So 5 months. April will be 12 years for my job. Okay. I get her with the same job I had since she's been born, basically. Which is construction, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I ain't know how to work a shovel, but now I run machines and stuff like that. That helped me raise her. Give her whatever she want.
So it seemed like she gave you a sense of purpose, right? Gave you more to live for, more to look forward to. And so it showed that you gained some discipline, right? That's a long time. Nowadays, people don't stay on jobs that long. I don't care how good they pay, right?
Right.
And so, but that's discipline, right? That's commitment, right? And not just to the job, to her, right? The discipline and commitment that you have for your daughter is what keeps you dedicated and committed to all these things.
But
okay,
the job was on my side.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a license. I got it. I ain't paid my court fines. I paid them. I ain't have my own place to live. I got it. I ain't have no car. They even loaned me the money a long time ago. Like we passed that now, but you know, my job looked out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they good people. It's a private owned company and everything, but they big though.
Mm-hmm. Again, that opportunity came about because your daughter gave you more to live for, right? Gave you something. You see what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm not trying to,
That's true. That's true.
I'm just,
It's
correct
all
me
the
if I'm wrong. But that's kind of because see what I learned about experiences in different stages. It's important to connect dots, right? It's important to connect because when you realize what landed you here and got you there, it started making more sense and add more value. It adds more value, more substance. When I realized, oh, I got that because when I met Dude, and Dude told me call him, and start being able to really see this picture. Because essentially it's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able to see this, and you're able to see how it unfolded and how it to itself. And I just personally adds more substance to the experience. And so that's just me. That's just how my brain works. I'm always trying to put the pieces together and connecting the dots because then what happens, you start realizing how aligned you are.
Yeah.
And how things have been coming into alignment. And so that teaches you not to take situations and relationships for granted. Because how you talk to Dude could determine whether you're gonna get that job. You know what I'm saying? How you treat her will determine how the outcome of that will be. And so as I mentioned, I hear many transitions that you made, and I love it. You sound very much committed, right, to what it is that you're doing for you and yours. I love the honesty, right, because it could have been, yeah, I got out, had my daughter, I got on the right foot. No, I got out, I was on some other stuff, head was screwed on right. Took some time, then I did it because, again, those are the dots that need to be connected to see why and how this came about to get you where you are now. So we got the big time actor here, Daddy of the Year. What else we got here? We got the guy that's actually being the change that he wants to see, right? It's a sense of projection that it sounds like took place, and not in a bad way, because we all project. Sometimes it's not really the best way, but the projecting was, you said it, that what you see these children witnessing, you didn't get that. And that's why. So again, those are dots, right? Connecting them dots. And so it helps, even though you're getting paid as a business, right? But there's purpose. There's purpose in that because you have a personal purpose.
Oh, I only get paid from my business.
No. I'm saying that even though in your business the parents pay you for these different events they're giving for their kids, it's still purpose tied to it based on your own experience as a child, right? You're talking about the moon bouncing business.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an actual legitimate business, and you're being compensated for your time as you should be. But it sounds like it's still some purpose in it, just based on you being a child at one point and you possibly not having and being able to have the joy you see these kids experiencing, at these events. And so I'm just big on I'm always connected that. So you just gotta follow me. You just gotta follow me.
You got it.
And so then you got a few more roles under your belt. Like, is it something you can mention now, or is that something you gotta kind of?
Yeah, it's completed now.
Okay.
They're doing added scenes in there, but I don't know if the added scenes in there yet. Called 3 Stages of Darkness, about somebody else's life that's from Richmond.
Okay.
My latest film I just did was called Sweet Thing.
Oh, okay. I've been saying that.
Huh?
I've been seeing the previews of that. I see the trailer all the time.
I can't wait till that come up. And my co-star in there, that's my lady now.
Oh, okay.
We done joined forces, blended family. We'll come out. That's gonna be all of them good.
Mm-hmm. But this gonna be the one.
That's gonna be the one.
That's gonna be the one. Okay. Sweet thing. I got you. Yeah. Okay. And so now, so your ladies actually. So are y'all a couple in the movie?
We're a couple in the movie. That's how I started.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be intense.
But the movie, like, it was already written before we met.
Okay. Okay.
It's actually our story too. A lot of key things in that movie was like throughout our life, you know.
Familiar. Mm-hmm.
We just been going good.
That's what's up. That's what I said. I can only imagine that could be pretty intense, right? In a good way. I'm definitely gonna support that. Like I said, I see the trailer all the time. I think since I interviewed Sean, I see I've been a lot of the actors in the community and directors I've been have been
And
following.
everything I did, Sean got his hands in. That's my dog.
I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing him. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And to your point, as you mentioned earlier, he connected me to a lot of people that he reached out to on my behalf. So I appreciate that. I love the community, but I do like to end with a few personal questions that I put together. Is there anything else that you got going on?
The acting, the business, the nonprofit, the other community events. No.
No? Okay, that's a lot. Okay.
You kind of got
Staying busy. I love it.
busy. Oh, I do. I am I'm on another board.
Okay.
But a rec league. I run the
Oh,
kitchen.
yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah,
Concessions, right?
Kitchen for them. So that'd be a couple months out the year of my life too. My daughter cheer there. And
Okay.
yeah. Other than that, that's about it.
Very much involved, right? I love that. And so, how much of this, and I mean all of what you mentioned this, you actually thought about when you were in? When you sat there, was any of this the plan?
No,
None of it was the plan.
I was, like I said, I was coming home on bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a child, none. So it was just me still. So I was coming back ready to be up on the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for some reason, it didn't go that way.
Because your daughter, man. We said we connected dots here tonight. That's because of your daughter. That's why you couldn't go back to that. You couldn't go back to that. You know, prison saved you from it. He said, "Oh no, I'm gonna get back on." And your daughter said, "Nah, that's some other stuff."
Yeah.
And you know, and I kind of figured without saying much, because I purposely don't try to read up on guests too much, because I really want to kind of get to know the person one-on-one with the interview. And so, but I knew there had to be a real reinventing taking place.
Yeah.
You, right. And so I think it's huh?
It took a lot to get me here.
Yeah.
So everything I do is reach out for a kid. Because ain't nobody reach out for this kid. Mm-hmm. You know, and I always wanted love, but I don't play with the love. Mm-hmm. All that manifested me today. Mm-hmm. And I'm cool with it.
Because it's for the greater good, right? And so sometimes, unfortunately, our pain and our suffering is for a greater purpose. You know, like it's unfortunate that we got to experience certain things, but then when you look on the back of that experience, see what it produced in you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I took one for the team, right? Mm-hmm. Because now they got me in a place where it's like we have such a passion and compassion for the community, specifically the kids. And so, and clearly that's tied to your experience that you mentioned. But I do have some. You answered a ton of them, honestly. But I do have a few that I want to ask. It's going to take me back a little bit, so bear with me. So if you could describe an emotion that you were not allowed to express, what would that be?
Emotion
that you weren't allowed to express. Remember we talking about the suppression, right? Had to suppress a lot.
What emotion would I put on crying? I didn't cry. Well, nobody saw me cry.
Nobody saw you. Made sure nobody saw you.
Nobody. If you catch me crying, you somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I suppress the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it like it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're crying about it because it is what it is.
yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that.
I think that, I mean, that sounds accurate to everything that I've heard, right? The suppress and having to fend for yourself and be the man for yourself. Like, where's the time to be crying? You know what I'm saying? Like, crying ain't gonna change the circumstance. That could be, yeah. So you just gotta keep pushing. Okay. Let me ask you this. So, what did you normalize that was actually traumatic? Can you recall normalizing anything that was actually traumatic?
I kind of normalized death. I've seen a lot of dead bodies in my life. I do know everybody got a date. It's destined for everybody. Nobody's gonna be here forever. It just feel like forever in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. See, I just lost train of thought that fast too.
No, you answered because I can see that, and that's kind of what I think I was hitting on earlier when I said growing up in the neighborhood. It was just normal. It was every day, all day, and so you become desensitized.
Yeah.
In a bit, doesn't shock you or frighten
I do very good in hiding the emotion.
you.
I ain't gonna even say I had it. Sometimes I don't even feel the emotion.
No, that was a question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of emotion I don't feel.
You don't even feel.
You'll cuss me out too because I ain't charge my phone.
That's okay. We don't. But it's because of the detachment, the emotional attachment. So, like you said, you're not even really hiding it. A lot of times, you don't even feel it.
Mm.
Not even aware that it's there.
Yeah, I honestly live with the shit happens. It is what it is. It's gonna be all right. Certain stuff I can't get past like that, but 8 out of 10 I can get past it.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm self-centered or focused on me or nothing like that, or that I don't care about people. It's like I have to care, but I can accept.
Right. So let me ask you this: what did you need from a father figure that you didn't receive?
Yeah, we ain't never touched my father.
I thought you purposely didn't want to go there, and I didn't want to push the envelope.
No, I was fine because we had a heart to heart. You know how you have a heart to heart with somebody? Because I went to my grandma for everything. His mother.
Okay.
I had a heart to heart with him, and he was
Hold
mad
on.
at me.
I'm sorry. So that was his mother you were living with.
No, it was my mother.
I thought that
It
was
was
your mother.
both. They was up the street from each other.
Got you.
I could go to either one I want to go to, still go to the same school or whatever.
Got you.
Yeah, I was between the two. But what was the question?
Heart to heart.
Yeah, we had a heart to heart, and he was expressing some things to me for us, like me never reaching out to him. I'm like, okay, like that was the first time I ever seen my daddy cry. So I felt him that day. Stop calling my grandma for everything. This is my adult life. I'm out of prison and everything now.
Okay.
And the one time I called him when I needed him, just guess what he did?
What man?
Sent me back to my grandma. Actually,
back to the person he told you not to go to.
Yeah. Forget it then.
It sounded good, right?
It sounded good at the time, and I don't let that bother me. Like we talk to this day, like we good,
Okay.
He my daughter love him. Everybody did better for my child than they did for me.
Different parents.
Yeah, and I allowed it. They still my parents,
Yeah. It's bittersweet.
I'm better because I'm grown. I don't need to ask them for nothing. So just sometimes communication or family events, and it's all good.
So with that said, what can you? What do you feel like you needed from him that you didn't get as a child?
I needed his guidance. But now that I'm grown, it's like, did I really need your guidance?
Like, what kind of guidance would he have provided?
Yeah, yours won't right neither. You know, so I accept him today. I don't even look back there no more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I needed. I needed a lot.
Right.
I didn't get it. I need nothing now.
Well, we do need things as adults as well. But I hear you and I get it, right? It's you good. You have everything under control now, so you good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I get that. Let's see. Do you ever recall a situation where you promised yourself something that you'll never like? And again, we're not talking about verbatim conversation, but can you recall something you promised yourself you would never become? You know how you see people in the neighborhood or communities.
I said I'd never become a woman beater. You know, with my child mother, it came close to that. And since then, I never looked back at her. You know, at this one, I'm like, all right, cool. Just give me my child on the time that I can get my child and stuff like that. And, you know, I went, got the court papers and all that. And I don't need to have no relationship with you. But with our relationship, I mean, I had demons. So, no, I didn't beat her. It came close to. And I removed myself. So that's just one thing that I despise. Like if I see a woman getting hit out the street by a man today, I'm gonna go hit him myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't have friends that beat on women. If I know about it anyway.
Right.
That's just I ain't going no deeper than that, but yeah.
No, I hear you. No, yeah. So I want you to finish the sentence, okay? The part of my story I avoid talking about is
My pain, my struggles, what I endured. This whole podcast today.
everything that I shared to see you.
I'm telling you, like, I'm not playing. I'm gonna get a lot of calls once this is over. I don't put my emotion out there like that. When you see me in public, you'll just think I got it together. I mean, well, nobody really got it together.
No, none of us.
You'll just think I just got it together. But it's a lot of pain in these eyes. It's a lot of hurt in my heart. It's a lot of stains on my clothes. You know? That finished the sentence for you?
Yeah, you did, very much so. And that's why I attempted to mention a moment ago that you said, I don't need that, I'm good. That's why I said, well, we do this. so, and I get it, but it's like, well, if we pull the film all the way back, we realize a whole lot we still need, from these people we say we don't need it from.
Shut up, I still need a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, so finish this sentence. And you probably somewhat already answered it. I don't talk about this, but I still struggle with.
I don't talk about it, but I still struggle with my character. I have a good character, but I move right, but I still have demons too. Like this stuff still gets to me, so I'm gonna just keep that on my character. I struggle with my character. Not that I'm trying to uphold an image for anybody.
Right.
I'm trying to hold an image for myself.
So what do you give your daughter that you never had?
I gave her heat. I gave her food. I gave her What it is now these days, name brand clothes. Clothes that was hers. A room that's hers, a TV that's hers, a phone that's hers, an iPad that's hers. Everything is hers. And I provide it all.
That's what's up.
I ain't had none of it.
Even when I asked the question, I'm saying I'm sure it's a long time.
Yeah.
We almost done, I promise. What childhood pain resurfaces when you parent her?
What childhood pain resurfaced when I parent her? I mean, I kind of messed up because she's spoiled, but she hates the word no. I got no a lot. And with her, I haven't been giving her no. So to give her no, that be it sometimes. Because I end up starting to do it anyway.
Anyway.
It's not
because it resurfaces of all the no's you got.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
As long as it's reasonable. If it's something that's just, look, nah, then no. But yeah.
You mentioned more than a few times about love and needing love and not getting love. What have you learned that love is? What is love to you?
Love is definitely emotion. Love, when it's real love, it feel good. It's attentive. Um, you know someone there. Cause a lot of fake love too. But when you can feel it, it's great. I don't know. Just feel good. It feel good to know somebody love you.
Yeah. And that's what I got from it. That's what I got from what you were just saying. That it feels good when you know someone loves you because you say you didn't get the love, you know how that, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that goes back to that comparison. I know what it feel like not to have it. So now that I have it, I know that, okay, the feeling feels good. And someone might think that that's kind of vague, but I get it. You gotta be in a certain space to understand that. What version of you before prison that you didn't understand? It could be before or after, because you say you kind of came out on the same
Which
mindset.
version that I didn't understand?
What version of you that you didn't understand?
I didn't understand what I chose when I knew it was more for me. Like, it's like I was out there, but I always told myself, I'm not supposed to be out here. That's how that came about. I always felt I didn't supposed to be there. I didn't supposed to be doing this. I ain't supposed to have this. But it helped. It felt good at the time, at the moment, at the place, you know.
It felt gratifying at the time.
Yes. But after certain stuff, it was like, man, I ain't supposed to did that. I ain't supposed to be right here. It's something better for me. I just gotta find it. It's just hard to find right now.
You found a whole lot, brother. Whole lot. Finish this sentence. If my daughter tells my story one day, I hope she.
Tell the truth. Tell what you know. Your time is your time with me on earth. There's somebody else that could tell well, it's not. I feel I'm gonna start talking more now. You know. But just tell your truth. Tell what I was to you.
To you, right.
Yeah.
Because everybody got their own version of who I am and what I was to them.
Correct. I'm not the same person to everybody.
None of us are.
I only like people for real.
That's you do. You love children.
That's different.
Yeah, I know. I just had to nitpick. You said people. You didn't sound like adults. You sound like people. Like, well, you love children. Okay, so let me ask you this. Who did you disappoint that you never apologized to?
Honestly speaking, there's a couple women in my life that I just never apologized to. And it was coming with my growth. You know, my baby mother, she gave me the best gift that I got. And for the stuff we went through, I never really gave her an official apology. Like, that's one. That's kind of not just her, but it's just been women in general. You know, I wasn't who I am today.
Right.
Like, my lady that got me now, she's getting the best. She's fixing me still, but she getting the best version of me.
She's getting a better version of it. So do you feel like acting allows you the opportunity, and I haven't seen all your roles, but do you think that some of the roles you play has given you an opportunity to relive the thrill in a sense?
Oh, definitely. I've been reliving the thrill. Yeah, it definitely it gave me new thrills too. With the first two, that was me. With my last one, that wasn't me.
Okay.
No, it had key points in it, but it wasn't me.
So we said the first one. That's the one that didn't get finished. Is that the one you were saying? The first one. You said the first one. That first role you played was you.
Oh no, I won't even speaking on that one. I was talking about the art.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was just that.
Let's get like 3 more. Let's see. So if you had to describe what you want your legacy to be, as far as for your daughter, what would that be?
I'd have been all over the place. It's like, what do I want my legacy to be? I don't want to say the basics, but you just put me on to something.
Okay.
I can't answer that question for you.
Okay.
But you just put me on to dwell on that. What do I want my legacy to be? I need time for that.
It's important.
I'd rather it write itself, you know, regardless how it may go.
It will.
Yeah.
It's going to. I mean, that's just for all of us. It's going to. I mean, it's writing itself now. We're just in a different chapter. We're just on another season, right? However, I think that it's important to have a sense on what we want it to be, because I think what it does psychologically is it puts us in a space where now we're being more adamant about the decisions and things that unfold and how we move, because I want to make sure I'm known for that. I want to make sure I'm remembered for that. And I think that it might not change too much of how you move,
but
because you're in a sweet spot.
I'm working on that now. I'm in so many different avenues. I guess my legacy would just
you ain't got force
helping people that help me.
You ain't got force it. You can ponder on it. I think that's a mature answer, because we're talking legacy. I didn't say what you know. Yeah, I asked you what you're gonna do next weekend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you don't gotta force an answer. That's good. I think it matters more to ponder on it to make it more real for you than to just force an answer. You don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking a question, but you ain't gotta have an answer for it. Don't force it. You say you want to ponder on that. I think you should ponder on that just because you feel the need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the final question? I got like 6 in front of me. I'm trying to choose from. Only get this one shot, you know? Okay, let's end on this one. How about that? I'm proud of you gotta finish the sentence. I'm proud of myself for blank, but I'm still healing from blank. I'm proud of myself for blank, but I'm still healing from blank.
I'm proud of myself for growth. I'm still healing from demons. It be them thoughts sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proud of the growth that I got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still healing from the demons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And demons is a far-fetched, word.
No, I got you because I feel the need to insert there if you don't mind. So yeah, I have to say this. So we call ourselves wrestling with demons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those demons that we call ourselves wrestling with be what we consider the worst part of ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we call them demons because they keep showing his head. They just keep coming up. Just keep showing up. That's just part of my character. Just keep showing up. And so I just would like to insert this as a form of correction, if you don't mind. I'm big on language, right? And I understand the power in our words and how we describe ourselves. And so let's refrain from calling them demons, right? And let's just call it what it really is. I'm not here to say they got demons. Each his own. However, I think there's a more effective way of describing it because it'll make us much more conscious and more mindful. So let's just say, and you said it earlier, actually, I think, it's just certain parts of our character. It's just other aspects of life. If you think that what you see here today is what you're getting, there's so many levels to me. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Who you get today, you might not get tomorrow. You know, you came to the wrong time, wrong place. But that don't mean that's a demon. You understand? It's just a part of my character that's still flawed. Now, I understand the demon talk when we find ourselves in a place where now we're causing bodily harm, or you know what I'm saying? We're affecting other people with this behavior. If we're doing this stuff to other people with pure intent, you know what I'm saying? With malice and stuff, okay. It might be a little deeper than just
That might be a demon.
I believe it's a little deeper than the character flaw.
I'm fighting demons.
Because it's the intentions. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of intentions. And so, and that's why I said, I'm just, and so, and to whatever degree that is, make sure that you call it what it is. You say it's demon, okay, what kind of demon? Because demon is broad. You know what I'm saying? Like
it is
and
broad.
I'm not telling you to tell me that here now.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying that as you wrestle with it and deal with it and ponder on it and you're trying to shake it, call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just say, an attitude problem. You see what you say is what you get. This is who I am. No, you have a rage problem. You don't just have an attitude problem. Your issue is rage. I had to call it for what it was. I was making light of it by saying attitude, short temper, quick. No, rage. Your issue is rage. You know what I'm saying? So call it what it is, because until you call it what it is, you're going to keep struggling with it. You can know what it is mentally. You know what I'm saying? You can fully understand the behaviors of it, but you got to call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, you got to call it what it is.
Yeah.
As our bishop said, you can't be real with it until you deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to call it what it is and all that. Oh, it's a demon. And I'm not trying to make light, promise you I'm not. But we wrestle with this stuff for the rest of our life because we just call it a demon. Demon shows up in many forms. What kind of demon you talking about?
Depends on the day.
You know, okay, today the demon is this. You still got to call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? That is just my humble recommendation. Is to just call it what it is when you're faced with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you how do you fight off the demon of lust if you're just calling it a demon? You know what I'm saying? How do you fight off? You know what I'm saying? How do you fight that thing off? You don't know how to fight something. You can't be equipped. I'm an ant because you're going to take me somewhere else. You can't be fully equipped to deal with something effectively if you don't call it what it is. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And so I appreciate the opportunity and the dialogue. I think that this was great. I think it was great for you. I think it's going to be great for viewers. I think that ultimately one of my main primary goals is to get examples in front of the viewers because we learn we're more alike than we're different. No. A lot of us share the same stories, different zip code. You know what I'm saying? Different parent, different zip code. A lot of us share the same stories. And I think one of the hardest part, and I'm just talking about myself, being a child is feeling like you're the only one in this position. Nobody's going to understand what I'm going through. When there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are right there. And so, and that's why I try to dig as deep as I can, because I think that a lot of answers come out of these interviews for other people. You know, I get DMs all the time. Man, I never looked at it like that. I never knew I felt that way until I saw that. So it's definitely going to be helpful and useful. And I appreciate your time. Any announcements? Anything else? Make sure you ain't miss nothing. I'll be keeping up anyway.
Nah, I don't think I missed none. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you covered it all too. Well, I appreciate all your time. I end by saying, anyone look for any investment properties in DC, Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, or Florida, you can reach out to me. That's Davis Development Group. Anyone look for any rental properties, whether it's short-term or long-term rentals, you can reach out to me. That's AirDG. Anyone need an electrical service, whether it's residential or commercial, I appreciate you, brother. That's Sendale Systems. You can reach out to me. Anyone looking for the athletic apparel? Do you have a clothing brand?
With my nonprofit, we got shirts and hoodies and stuff like that.
Okay, I thought I saw something. I wasn't sure if I mixed you up with another guest, but okay. Yeah, anybody look for the athletic apparel? You reach out to my 17-year-old son, Be Empowered. You can find him on BECO, BE Clothing on Instagram. Those are all businesses that are for us, by us, Black owned. I appreciate y'all time and I appreciate your story, brother. Okay?
Appreciate you.
Peace. Stay in touch.